Welcome to Tiger Paw Counseling, Carl.
Thank you. I have heard good things about your clinic. People tell me you're the best.
Well, thank you, Carl, but I don't know if that is true.
Of course it is. Look at all the certifications on your wall. You have more than any other place I have interviewed. I think I would be a good fit here.
Why is that, Carl?
Because I am also the best. And I am in the Honors Society, and have many certifications, and I have an iPhone 4.
Oh, really? What counseling certifications do you have?
Counseling certifications? None. Most of them are based on hand-to-hand combat techniques in the online community of Second Life. But I plan to adapt many of the principles and apply them to counseling.
Would you say your style is experiential?
Absolutely. I love to experiment on my clients.
Ha 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 ha. You are very funny, Carl. The other students must think you are hilarious.
If you say so. They do laugh a lot when I am around.
So what theory do you use?
I found all theories to be incomplete, so I created my own.
Really? Tell me about it.
It is a cross between the work of Carl Jung, Michael White, Dumbledore, and Carl's Jr.
I think you mean Carl Rogers.
No. Carl's Jr. Their $6 burgers inspire me. I think my theory would make more sense if I showed you. Would you like to be my client?
Well, sure. I have not role-played since grad school.
I did not ask you to role-play. I asked you to be my client.
I do not know if I am comfortable with that.
Then maybe we should start by working on your resistance to authenticity.
I am not resistant to authenticity.
Please tell me about your first sexual encounter.
I do not think that is any of your business.
Like I said, lack of authenticity.
You have a lack of boundaries.
My theory believes boundaries are barriers to good counseling.
That seems dangerous and potentially harmful.
If you say so. In my theory, I start every session off with a mindfulness technique. I call this the body scan.
I think that's what everyone calls it.
Yes, my theory is really catching on. Get comfortable in your chair and breathe in and out very slowly. Like a snail.
How do snails breathe?
Very slowly. The same way they walk.
Snails don't walk.
I can see why none of your certifications are in botany.
I think you mean biology.
That too. Let's get started. Breathe deep. Now hold your breath for 10 seconds.
That seems like a long time.
Not in my theory, it isn't. Now breathe out. Now relax the muscles in your feet. Now relax the muscles in your leg and let them dangle as though you are a little girl sitting in a really big red chair that has 4 legs with nothing under it, so you have plenty of room to let your legs dangle freely.
That is very descriptive.
Thank you. Now notice the part of your body that is in the middle and kind of fleshy.
You mean my belly?
No. The part that is below the small of your back.
Oh, my tailbone?
No. The part that I can't say out loud.
Why can't you say it out loud?
Because it would be inappropriate.
Why are you having me focus on something that is inappropriate?
You raise a good point. Just keep that part of your body tight. Now relax your arms, shoulders, and head. Oh, and your face too.
Done.
How do you feel?
Uncomfortable.
Maybe you didn't do it right. Are you sure you relaxed your face?
Pretty sure.
It doesn't look like it.
It always looks like this.
Maybe that is your problem.
I don't have a problem.
You seem to be in the 17th stage of my theory. Denial.
You have 17 stages in your theory.
No, I have 23.
Why 23?
23 is not your problem. 17 is your problem.
What problem?
Denial. I have a special technique to cure problem number 17. I call it the empty hammock technique.
That sounds like the empty chair technique.
If you say so.
Well, we don't have a hammock here.
This chair beside me will do.
This is sounding more and more like the empty chair technique.
You are having a lot of personalization right now and seem fixated on a chair. I believe you have post-traumatic stress disorder that was triggered by something to do with a chair.
I cannot think of anything in my past that has to do with a chair.
That is because you have blocked it out because it is too scary to think about. We must bring it into your awareness by a technique I call ear movement direct rebalancing.
That stands for EMDR.
Yes, it does.
That is already one of the most common treatments for PTSD.
Like I said, my theory is catching on fast. I am happy to hear you have heard of it.
Whatever.
This technique involves a lot of bilateral stimulation.
That sounds inappropriate.
It depends on how you use the clickers.
I think we are done here.
I am the counselor. I think I am the one that makes that call.
I am the owner of this business, so I get to make that call.
You really seem to like the one-up position. That has been found to be ineffective and mechanical. In my theory, the counselor takes the two-down position.
That doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't expect you to get it.
Your theory seems to be less effective.
That is because your big one-up desk is between us. That creates a barrier that makes it hard to connect with a client.
I think my desk is the least of your worries right now.
I think we just got off on the wrong foot today. I should not have told you about all of my certifications in the Honor Society because you feel threatened by my intelligence.
That must have been it. I was having a hard time figuring out why I wanted to throw you out of the window until you pointed that out.
Let me think this position over for a few days before I commit to anything. I don't want to sell all of my milk to the first buyer. Would my office be as big as yours?
Why are you still here?
How are your benefits? Do you have a good match on your 401k? If I were to get more online certifications, would you offer tuition reimbursement? How many paid days off do you allow per week? Does your medical insurance cover scurvy? How long do I have to work here to become a partner? Are your chairs ergonomic? Why are there no men working here? Since I am a man, does that mean I will be president of the company by default? Would you feel awkward reporting to me? I don't want things to be awkward between us. Having a subordinate surpass you in a company is actually a sign of good leadership and should be taken as a pat on the back. You can take your big desk with you though because it doesn't fit within my theory.
Why are you still asking me questions?
Good point. You probably have no idea. You're just a counselor. I will ask the lady at the front desk. I have really enjoyed our time today. I am going to be a good dude and give you half off for our session. You can just add it onto my first check.
Who referred you here?
Dr. Fight. He said to tell you. Now we are even.
That dirty son of a... Please leave. Now.
I like to end each session with a hug.
No. And this was not a session, it was an interview.
Call it what you want, but you know you want a hug from the Karlmeister.
No.
I think you underestimate the power of a hug.
I think you underestimate my disdain for you.
Don't be shy.
I realize now that unconditional positive regard has its limits.
You're a Virginia satyr.
You're no counselor.